Electronic Arts has earned its reputation as the vultures of this gaming industry. Despite EA executives claiming they cannot understand why they are viewed as the bad guys, to most gamers it's quite obvious. Besides EA being well known as the killer of game studios, they also consistently for this last decade have been very anti-consumer. We can go back 7 years to see some of the nonsense that EA was doing and also gloating about. In May 2012, COO at the time, Peter Moore, told Gamasutra in an interview, "The other key thing is selling digital content on the day of launch. When we sold Mass Effect 3 back in March, we saw a 40% attach rate that first week to DLC at GameStop in the United States." Also, almost rest in peace GameStop. But anyway, the rest of the statement says, "Not only are you selling a $60 game, you're selling $20 in DLC, so the sale becomes $80. This was 7 years ago, and Day 1 DLC was such a controversial piece of content back then, but nowadays, even though there still is some pushback, it's become extremely common, it's normalized, and almost all of gaming's biggest AAA publishers have embraced this business model, some going a little too far with it. In recent years, thankfully there has been at least a few big gaming publishers understanding the problems facing this gaming industry, recognizing the damage that other greedy companies have created. Projekt Red, infamously in late 2017, during the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box debacle, responded to concerns over Cyberpunk 2077 possibly being a games as a service, telling YouTuber Pretty Good Gaming in a tweet that Cyberpunk 2077 would be nothing less than The Witcher 3, huge single-player open-world story-driven RPG, no hidden catch, you get what you pay for, no BS, just honest gaming like the Wild Hunt, we leave greed to others. Because of the timing, it was a clear shot at the horrendous anti-consumer crap that Electronic Arts was trying to implement into Star Wars Ultimate Team. Since then, Projekt Red has consistently been taking indirect shots at publishers like EA, and just recently that again happened. But as usual, if you do enjoy this content and want to show your support for more gaming news like this, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing for more, and turning notifications on so you do not miss out on any new content. Also follow my social media accounts, mainly Twitter because I'm most active over there. Nonetheless, as I previously mentioned, Day 1 DLC has become a big part of gaming these days. With Rockstar's huge Red Dead Redemption 2, there were 3 different editions of the game. There was the standard $60 one, which was just the base game. Then for $20 more you could get some bonus single player content, including a few cosmetics, gameplay boosts, an extra bank robbery mission, and a gang hideout. Now for another $20, equaling up now to around $100, players could get the Ultimate Edition, which was actually just some bonus online content. This included a few cosmetics and a rank bonus. Besides that, there was also pre-order bonuses, which included access to the Warhorse and the Outlaw Survival Kit. And on top of that, Rockstar Games and PlayStation partnered up for timed exclusive content for Red Dead Online, with select items coming first to the PlayStation 4, 30 days before Xbox. This is what gaming has become. Sure, for the longest time there have been partnerships with console companies, and game developers like last-gen Xbox 360 players enjoyed Call of Duty DLC packs 30 days before they eventually made their way to the PlayStation 3. Obviously that's switched this generation, but my point really is about content being locked away behind special editions or pre-orders or what console you're playing on. The gaming industry has normalized this terrible behavior, and it's gotten worse in recent years, with one of the newer big strategies to increase profits being access to playing a game early, with games like NBA 2K19 allowing those who paid an extra $40 on the game, those who purchased the anniversary edition of the game, access to the game 4 days ahead of everyone else. And also, as you can see, there's all kinds of bonus pre-order content attached to this edition. Electronic Arts has become infamous for this kind of crap, doing it most recently with Anthem, and Ubisoft has of course done the same recently with The Division 2. If we're being honest, buying a game has never been so complicated than in present day. Now, Projekt Red, even though they have established themselves as arguably gaming's most pro-consumer publisher, they were asked recently by a concerned fan if they had plans for pre-order bonuses. The user asking in private messages, if you pre-order on PlayStation 4, will you give us pre-order bonuses? And Projekt Red hit back saying, what bonuses do you have in mind? The user obviously coming up with the nonsense that's become so common these days, in-game bonuses like cosmetics, money, and guns. This is when CDPR boldly responded stating, "No, we don't do that. Every person that buys the game gets exactly the same in-game content, no matter if they buy it in pre-orders on release date or 2 years later." And this response really isn't all that surprising based on CDPR's previous actions, but it still is always refreshing knowing there is at least one large gaming publisher not out to suck consumers' wallets dry. Just about a month ago, Projekt Red took an indirect shot at Electronic Arts' Anthem and a message that was found through a link that was secretly placed in Cyberpunk 2077's Collector's Edition unboxing trailer. Projekt Red has been very active with these secret messages hidden within marketing material. We actually recently talked about their newest secret ARG that actually is still ongoing and has thus far resulted in secret messages, websites, phone calls, and just a lot more. If you missed that video breaking down what's currently happening, check it out. But getting back on subject, within this secret message, CDPR stated, "As you probably noticed, we prepared 2 editions of Cyberpunk 2077. Why only 2? Because when we pre-order ourselves, we don't like to go to Wikipedia to compare content. We have a simple deal. There's the standard edition, the one we think most gamers will choose, and a limited collector's edition." It was only about 4 months before this secret message that Electronic Arts faced some harsh criticism for the complicated release schedule for Anthem. On EA support Twitter account, the Anthem chart was actually quickly ratioed, with many voicing their dissatisfaction with this kind of crap. You have comments like, "How embarrassing," "Excellent, I was on the fence about buying the game a month before release or not, now I've decided I will not buy the game, play Warframe instead," and many more comments along these lines. But as I emphasized earlier, this is the current state of modern video games. Even Bethesda made a big deal about pre-ordering Fallout 76 for beta access, which, as we later found out, was really just early access. Projekt Red again is leading by example. The 2 different versions of Cyberpunk 2077 are the definition of value, and CDPR clearly isn't looking to get all the money in the world, they are just looking to provide physical and digital content that consumers will enjoy. Such a crazy concept to come up with, right? What's so phenomenal but also kinda sad is that just for the $60 edition of Cyberpunk 2077, you get all sorts of physical and digital items that are typical for most deluxe editions nowadays. With the more expensive edition of Cyberpunk 2077, you're not missing out on any in-game content. CDPR has instead offered all sorts of cool physical items for the biggest Cyberpunk 2077 fans. Going back to the secret message, CDPR explained that, "We have really maxed out the physical capacity of the box with goodies. We think this raises the bar for standard, and we hope you'll think so too. Also, since pre-orders are live, you might be wondering if there's any point in placing an order now. Yes, if you want to give us some extra support. Pre-orders help us build anticipation. The more copies you pre-order, the more likely it is for us to get retail behind the game. Therefore, if you like what you see, we will appreciate you voting yes for Cyberpunk 2077 with a pre-order. If you are still hesitating though, we would rather you wait for more materials or reviews. Our goal is for you to truly enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 and not regret a pre-order." That last sentence is something that needs to be said more often throughout this industry, especially from the supposed leaders of gaming who solely focus their attention on slimy monetization strategies. EA has, for this entire decade, consistently created drama by acting anti-consumer. Sure, the marketing tells a different story, but when you really dig deeper and listen to these investor calls, you understand better what these corporations' priorities are. Many forget this, but 7 years ago, EA CEO John Riccitiello, who would later resign and Andrew Wilson would take the position on, well, he gave his opinion in an investor call on what he views as a better future for this gaming industry, and what he says may sound a little terrifying.
When you are 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're really not very price sensitive at that point in time. And for what it's worth, the cogs on the clip really low. And so essentially what ends up happening, and the reason the play first, pay later model works so nicely, is the consumer gets engaged in a property. They might spend 10, 20, 30, 50 hours on the game. And then when they're deep into the game, they're well invested in it. We're not gouging, but we're charging. And at that point in time, the commitment can be pretty high. As a personal anecdote, I spent about $5,000 calendar year to date on doing just this thing, this type of thing on our products and others. I can readily attest to how well it works. But it's a great model, and I think it represents a substantially better future for the industry.
As scummy as that comment might sound, monetization has come a far way in this gaming industry, with publishers trying to argue that to create games nowadays it costs more money, which is why they need to increase monetization. That is simply a myth. The reality is companies like EA have grown off of unsustainable greed, and they have to keep raising the bar or investors grow angry. It's greed. The only thing that has changed in recent years is really expectations, and while multiple editions, pre-order bonuses, loot boxes, season passes, battle passes, day one DLC, early access, in-game stores, in-game ads, virtual currency, exclusivity deals may seem like enough, it really isn't and won't be. This industry will slowly keep pushing forward until one day, yes, you are paying money to reload your gun in a Battlefield game. For now, though, it is important companies like CD Projekt Red are praised for their honesty and consumer-first approach, which really should not be so rare. While CD Projekt Red isn't taking any direct punches at Electronic Arts or this gaming industry, they are indirectly, consistently making statements about things that must change, whether that be the horrendous monetization BS that is way too common, such as loot boxes, or how developers are treated. CDPR's leadership recently have been very open about committing to be better for their employees. I understand all of these gaming companies are businesses, but at the same time it doesn't really feel like many of them care about delivering entertainment, which is what they kind of are supposed to be providing. The EAs and Activisions are run by corporate suits who don't care about creating fun new experiences. Their focus is on the next manipulative, predatory monetization scheme that they can come up with, and that really is what separates these companies from CD Projekt Red, who has leadership that appears to genuinely want to make games that are innovative and unique. I praise CD Projekt Red often, I criticize Electronic Arts often, and hopefully you understand that the small things matter. CDPR committing to not make Cyberpunk 2077 an Epic Game Store exclusive is something I applauded in the past because players should not be forced onto a store, and now I praise CD Projekt Red once again because content should not be locked behind a pre-order. EA may be the leaders of this gaming industry through the eyes of Wall Street, but consistently CDPR has proven they genuinely care about their consumers. In that aspect, the most important one in my opinion, they lead by example, and I truly believe actions like these may be small but will and should have a lasting impact, hopefully ensuring a bright future for arguably gaming's best publisher. Anyway, what do you make of CDPR's indirect hits against Electronic Arts and the rest of this gaming industry? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.